Hi, Brent with the Build Show. So we are here at Brookwood Farms in Canton, Mass, about 12 miles south of Boston. I'm visiting the North Bennett Street School, particularly the preservation program that works out here. It's kind of a second shop for them. There's a couple historic, or a number of historic buildings down here. One being this house from the 1830s, 1840s. What we're looking at here is the kinds of things that I did 25 years ago when we were restoring barns, learn how to date buildings, learning about preservation, okay? It should be a really fun time. We're gonna learn a lot about history, and I wanna share with you guys the great things happening in North Bennett Street. So come on. Okay guys, we're a beautiful New England day, standing in front of a 1830s house, Michael Burrey with Preservation Carpentry 2. Tell us about this house.
Well, this is a house that it's a platform for doing all our curriculum. So it represents the ability to repair sills, to lift a building and repair the sills underneath of it, to build a new timber frame on the back of it for to replace an existing stick frame structure. We have opportunity to repair windows, repair clapboards. The clapboards are the next thing that's on the list of things to do. Build a new wood shingle roof on it, and the methodology for doing that. So a lot of our curriculum is being met right here by this use of this house.
And was it in this form, in this shape, I should say, when you found it?
It was in my far worse shape. The roof had holes in it. The corner posts were rotting out. We threw a tarp over it immediately. It was in derelict condition.
So you restore windows, restore the timber frame, right? The framing of the house, the clapboards on the outside. You're gonna do the door next. Do the roof.
Yeah, the roof is done. There's a little bit more to do on the chimney cap, because it really should have some sort of cap on to keep the water out.
Okay.
The next serious thing is the clapboards and paint.
Okay, well let's go look at the side, because you'll see the L off the back side. So we're on the side of this. One thing I noticed when we were walking down the side is you have a granite stone foundation here, and you have more of a rubble stone here.
Yeah, so the granite stone foundation, it's taken from granite from glacial erratics, which are just large granite boulders split with feathers and wedges into usable blocks.
Sure.
And so it's a fancier, more formal means of supporting the house, whereas the back is more utilitarian, functional, so it doesn't get as high a
So it's not as much a function of when it was built, but it's just kind of more saving money.
Saving money.
Yeah.
So you put your best face forward, so put your best materials on the front of the building.
And when you found this backside, it was kind of falling down.
It was definitely falling down.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a stick frame built about 1918 or so, in very derelict condition.
And so we'll go inside, and you've kind of done a timber frame addition inside.
Yes.
All right, well, let's check it out. So Michael, we're standing obviously in this original part of the house. This dates from
1830, 1840s.
Okay,
originally.
so you've got a post in the wall, right? A corner post that's showing here. And these walls are really thin, right?
Yeah.
And so, I'm looking at this wall. It's about, what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick?
Yeah, about 2 inches thick. The studs are 2 inches thick. In this time period, they're not. They're using the 2 by it can be 2 by 4, 2 by 6s. They're using the 2 inch dimension to nail lath again. So you have a 2 inch dimension wall, then lath outside of that.
So, and then this is interesting because I'm a molding geek. But you put a bead profile on this 2 by, okay, and then you just attached a back band, for lack of word, and then the plaster comes up and dies in the back of that. Is that right?
That's correct. So the finished carpenters are coming in and doing all their work before the plasters even show up. And so the plasters are putting the lath on, the finished carpenters are doing the framing. At the top, this is a mortise and tenon joint in here. The stud itself is nailed to the floor, and then toe nailed up at the top to another board. So it's nice because that whole door frame is very strong.
It's really solid,
and
you're
solid,
not moving it at all. And that is a pretty sexy little joint there, mortise tenon with the peg, right? And then this part's mitered, that's mortised in.
Yep.
This is tongue together.
So this is all, it's routed out, or it's not. It's it's taken out of the stud itself. So it's nothing applied to make the jam.
And when we see a molding today, typically it's this bead all the way back, but a lot of people don't realize that this is part of the framing.
That's correct.
And then the back band is laid on top of it, which is pretty cool. Now you've done some plaster repair too here.
Right.
And so tell us, the plaster at the time was lime plaster, right?
Yeah, we're using traditional materials, so it's just lime, and was 2.5 parts sand, just a coarse sand, to 1 part lime, and then you add hair into that: goat hair, horse hair, ox hair, anything that's any kind of hair.
The binders kind of hold it together, right?
So that holds it together, because as you're applying it to the wall, you've got the lath is for keying to hold the plaster in place. And what happens to that plaster as you apply it on, it squeezes through the joint between the two and a little bit hangs over the back, and that hair that's in it helps that hang on there and reinforces it so that it's more durable.
Yeah, so you're taking kind of a glob on a trowel, rubbing it on there. It comes on. Is it 2-coat plaster here?
This, what we find in most of New England, is just a single coat plaster.
Oh, single coat.
Definitely in this time period. Even higher end houses have a single coat, because most of it's, especially in the higher end, is going to be covered with wallpaper.
Okay.
So they don't really care about how the plaster looks. It's not until the Victorian age that they start doing 3-coat plaster.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Tell us about the history of the Rumford and just how it would have influenced this fireplace.
Well, there's a fellow in the 18th century who had the means to be able to build a firebox and experiment with it, try to really play with the dynamics of heat and fire and the exhaust gases going up. So what he sorted out was that he didn't need to build a deep firebox for the fire to work and have a draft coming out. He made a very shallow firebox, maybe 6 inches deep.
Really shallow.
But very shallow, and but like a reflector dish. Okay. So that you could stand back 6 or 7 feet away from the firebox.
Feel that heat. Yeah.
Feel tremendous heat.
Which, in a New England climate where it's very cold, you really want to reflect as much heat as possible, right? So
it makes more efficient use of firewood.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. North Bennett Street is a special place. You'll really learn about how things were built 250 years ago. Stay safe at home. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Millwork Homes. Thanks for watching.